Hey everyone, so recently I've been playing around more and more with Nintex RPA, and I want to make sure that some of the stuff I'm learning I'm actually sharing with you guys. So this one is going to be around creating a list in Nintex RPA and actually building some logic to go through that list and go through all those values and show you how you can do that. Now, the data that goes into that list can come from anywhere. I'm going to create a custom list, so I'm going to actually hard code some values in there, but that could potentially be data coming from a table on a web page or a database, or potentially even querying a folder and getting the files in there. You can get all that sort of stuff in there as well. So show you some easy way to kind of parse the data. Now I'm sure there's a number of different ways of doing it, but I just want to show you the kind of quick and easy way that I'm doing it. All right, with that, let's switch over to Nintex RPA. Okay, on the top right here, you'll see a plus. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a couple of things. I'm going to create a list with my custom data in it. I'm also going to create some variables to actually pass through that list as well. So first of all, click on the little plus. You'll see there's a number of different types of objects you can create, but I'm going to create a list. Now give it a list name, so we'll call it list sites to parse. On the top left here, there's columns and some buttons for those, and then there's rows as well, because a list is made up of columns and rows. So I'm going to create some columns. Now, if you're going to create multiple columns, I recommend you check this box. Basically, that means it's going to keep this little window open so you can create multiple columns. So we'll call it site name, and we'll do another one called site URL. All right, so now you'll see we'll have a default column called item number, site name, and site URL, and we're also going to create a couple of rows here. So we'll say Nintex main, and we'll do one for the Nintex community. All right, there we go. We have a list and we have 2 rows of data in there, and we'll click on OK. What I'm also going to do is, as I'm going to go through a loop and parse this list, I'm going to store that data somewhere. In this case, it's going to be in text variables. So I'm going to create one called site name. And then I'm going to create another one called text site URL. Now you notice when I create a list, I gave it a name and I put list at the beginning. When I created a text variable, I created the actual name and I put text at the beginning. This is a personal preference. Of course, you guys probably have your own nomenclature that you want to use, but this is the way I like to do it, because when I go through these things like lists, variables, I want to see all the different variables that I have, and I want to know what kind of what type of variable they are, whether they're numbers, dates, booleans, etc. Okay, now with that, I'm going to go into actually building out the bot flow. So first of all, I'm going to go to loops, and I'm going to create a loop. And instead of exact times, what I'm going to do is say I want to use a list, and make sure you select the list, and then of course you'll see start, beginning, and stop is going to be the end. Right now there's 2 values in there, but of course this can be dynamic. Alright, so there's my loop. Next thing I want to do is I want to grab as I'm going through the loop, through each iteration, I want to grab the values of each of those columns. So I'm going to go up here, go to data, and I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. There is a set variable action, so I'm going to put that in there. The variable I want to use for the first one is going to be site name. And here's a really cool thing that you can do. For the value, because we're going to be inside the loop, I'm going to click on this to build up the expression builder. I'm going to click on lists, and you'll see it creates kind of like a lookup. So what I want to do is, you can see it's saying I want to look for a particular field in that list, and I want to compare it to item number, or a particular value compared to item number, and when it finds it, I want to pull out the site name. So here's the cool thing you can do. You can click on this to get the expression builder, click on loop, and you select the current loop number. So when the current loop number, so the first time through is going to be 0, equals to the current item number, which happens to be 0 because it's the first time through the loop, pull out the site name, right? So make sure you click on add. You'll see your lookup down here. Click on OK, and then when it runs, it's going to dynamically replace that current loop number and find the appropriate item in that list. All right, Now, the other thing I like to do, since I'm going to be doing another value from another column, I'm just going to do control copy, or right click copy, paste, and I'm going to open up this one. I'm going to make a slight change, so change that to URL, and then change that to URL. Okay, now finally, after each time through each of the values in that list, I'm pulling out these values. What I want to do is, just for debugging, I want to pop up a little message. So let's do message, and we'll say current site being parsed. Do a little information icon. Again, you can click on the expression builder, go to variables now, and now I can say click on that and site URL. And you can see this is what I'm going to be dynamically displaying in my message box. Remember to click on once. I've noticed double click puts these items in there twice, so just be aware of that. All right, that's it. Right, so now we have a custom list. We have a loop. We're parsing through each of the values in that loop, and we should get some pop-ups. So let's play this. It's going into the loop. It's getting the first value, getting the second value, and there's my pop-up. It says Nintex main with the URL. Click on OK. It's going to go through the next value in that list, and we should get another pop-up. There we go, Nintex community and the community URL. And then we are done. There's the finished running time. Of course, you can make it faster, but the cool thing is now you have an example of a bot flow that goes through a particular custom list, and all you need to do is replace this message with whatever logic that you need to do. So, for example, you might have, a browser like Chrome or IE actually navigate to that URL and do something with it. Maybe pull some information out that you need to. Or maybe you want to do something just to make sure that that site is actually up and running. You could put kind of like that sort of logic into this bot flow, into this section right here. And then what I also like to do is do things like, I want to, insert a line into here. It doesn't have to really do anything. Let's go here, and we'll do another one. Tools, line. Okay, we're good. I also like to add things like a note. So for example, you might say, add your logic to parse the site here. And then, boom, right? Now what happens is you have a pre-built little template bot flow that you can save, export, and then you'll be able to use this later on or give it to somebody else, import it, and then they understand how this logic works, and all I need to do is just replace this message box or message action with the logic that they need to. All right, well, I hope this helps. It definitely has helped me as I've been building some of my bot flows that I need for my day job. So any questions, definitely reach out to me, and I'll hopefully be able to point you in the right direction. All right, with that, thank you. Really appreciate your time in watching this video.